Howdy y'all. Guess what I'm up to? I'm trying to learn how to do chain pull art. So this is one of my first attempts. I've been practicing just on this cardstock. So what I'm up to is this. I have these pour paintings and I want to put a chain pull butterfly on here. So I drew a butterfly several times till I got a shape I liked. And then I traced it out and cut it out. Then I traced it on this side and flipped it over like that and traced it on that side. So now I have my butterfly drawn on there. And I also did this one. Same deal. Just traced it and drew it on there, and you can see the pattern on there. And I measured and marked the center to make sure it's all symmetrical and even. So I've got my two pour paintings with the patterns on there. And I've decided I want to do it in blue. So I used some cobalt hue and mixed it half and half with Floetrol in this bottle right here. And then I also have some pre-mixed white. So, the chain I'm using is just ceiling fan chain. It came a big long piece and I cut it into 4 pieces. It's easy to cut just with scissors. So I took this and cut it into 4 equal pieces. So that's my chain. It's the linked balls chain. And let me separate those out just a little bit. And I've been practicing on cardstock. And I did a few that were terrible. And this is the best one so far. Of course, I don't draw the pattern on there, so it's all lopsided. But I'm just trying to figure out how to do it. So while I was practicing, I thought, you know, maybe somebody else might enjoy seeing me learn how to do this. So, let me move these out of the way. I thought I would sit here and do a couple and y'all can watch me learn. Okay, so I also wanted to test this kind of setup I've got here with the camera and everything. So let's just try one. It's more difficult than it looks because the amount of paint that you use really makes a difference. I was trying some other colors, but I like the blue and white. And I've seen lots of different styles of doing this. And it seems like when I do it, it gets real thin, like right in here. So I've been putting a little bit extra, kind of right there. Okay. Let's try this. Put my chain in there carefully. I want to try and catch it right at the edge and get that. Uh-oh. There's a boo-boo. But thankfully, this is just a practice. Okay, so now let's see what happens. Well, that looks pretty good. There's some blobby paint here. I'll try and get that off of there. At least some of it. We'll get at least some of that blobby paint. And you know, on the real product, I'll be more careful. I won't get these little drippies and splatters everywhere. Okay. Let's try the other side. Maybe I won't make a mistake on this side. And the shape will be better, you know, when I do it right with the pattern, of course. This may be a little bit too much paint, but I've been having trouble right here in this area with it skipping and being thin, so I want to make sure I got enough paint. Okay, here we go. I'm going to get my technique down a little bit better. There, when at the very end I'm messing up there. But I'll work on it. Let's see here. Oh, see how it skips there? I'm not loving that. Yeah, there's a dry patch there, although I could probably, if that happened on the real thing, I could probably maybe just take a brush and go in there and help it look right. What do you think? Does that look terrible? I don't know if I should go back and touch it up like this. I feel like I'm messing it up when I do that. And then of course there's extra paint here. Try and get a little of that up. So you can see why I'm practicing. This looks so crappy. Ugh. But you know, you never are really good at something until you just do it over and over. So that's my motto anyway. So let's see here. I'm going to do the bottom one. Oh, looky there. See, this is why I have to be so much more careful and have so much more practice before I do it on my pour painting backgrounds, because I don't want to mess those up. Okay. I think I do better if I just hold it with one hand and don't try to guide it with that other hand. Well, that turned out all right. That's not bad. So you can get some of that paint off there. Alright, let's do that other wing. This isn't looking great, guys, but like I said, I need the practice. I'm going to have to do this several times before I get it right. I see that there's a hole in that bottom wing that I just did. Right here, there's a hole. I really hope that doesn't happen on the good one. I'm going to have to practice more. But maybe if it's real, if it does get a hole in it, maybe I can practice on that. But that looks terrible. I don't like that at all. I'm just gonna have to figure out how to do it right. You guys, gonna have to figure out how to do it right. You know, I watch those videos and everybody's a professional and can just do it so easy. And then I try it and it's a hot mess. Well, that's okay. Let's see what we can do with this little blob. Well, I don't know, you guys. It doesn't look very good. I think, you know, I feel like I used too much paint, but there were two thin spots. So I'm going to have to keep practicing until And of course that blob is wrong. But they're not symmetrical. The white is different. And I guess, you know, at the end I'm going to go back in and put a little body. Put a little body in there maybe. What do you think? Not great, but I'm going to keep practicing. So this is just a practice piece. I'm going to throw this away. And when I get really, really good, I will do it on these. So when I get braver and get better, here's one. I think this one turned out all right. I've done maybe, I don't know, half a dozen. And I'm figuring out more and more on the technique, but they still look kind of like finger paintings. But anyway, that's what I've been up to. I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me and learning how to do pull chain art. Thanks. Y'all have a good evening and be sweet.